In this video I'm going to share almost 30 different tips and tricks for small things, big things that I'm doing to make the life easy out on the trail. I'm also going to bring you on a journey through the Swedish Lapland, mountain, forest, wilderness camping, cabin life and dog sled driving. My name is Matti, I'm working as a dog musher and nature guide up in northern Sweden. Outdoor life is actually what I'm doing for a living. So what I'm doing out here is that I carry some of the food in a cooler like this. This food is food that I don't want to freeze. It's a cheese, it's ham, salami, things like I want to use in the morning. Maybe I have a yogurt or something like that. To avoid this to freeze, I bring one bottle like this. In this bottle I put warm water, or actually hot water maybe, but not too hot, because then it gets too hot in this cooler. I put this water bottle into the cooler, and then this stays in a good temperature during the whole night. This bottle with hot water is also very nice to put straight into the sleeping bag when you go to bed. But if you use it for the sleeping bag, it must be super waterproof. We use a water bottle called Nalgene for the sleeping bag. I didn't record it, but just recently it was kind of high activity here on me. I have this easy mat here, you see, it was covered the thermarest, and I was firing kind of hard, and suddenly it started smelling, and you see, I melted almost the easy mat. Shit, that was super close. So if you have a stove in the tent, keep distance between your gear and the stove, for sure. Otherwise the stove is super nice, but you have to use it careful. If you have been skiing or running and you have wet feet and the socks are wet, I take my socks and I keep it something like this, hanging under my jacket while I'm preparing the camp. Usually I hang it somewhere here, so then this gets dried while I'm working with the camp and when I'm warm anyway, and then I don't need to bring wet socks into my sleeping bag during the night. Of course it's easy to dry things when you have a tent with a stove. You see, even if it's winter, I store my sleeping bag in a waterproof bag, because you always want to have a dry sleeping bag. There is a lot of different brands. You have Ortlieb, for example, who make these really sturdy ones, but when it's cold, the Ortlieb bags get very, very stiff. So I use an X-bed bag. And then for the night, I take my jacket or something and I stuff it into the waterproof bag and use it as a pillow. Now I have two dogs inside. One is Annie, the border collie, and the other one is Honey, one of the huskies. Honey is super creative. She is biting in things if she have a chance, so I can't bring her in the cabin without keeping an eye on her all the time, because she destroys suddenly something. So now it's actually time to go to bed. See you tomorrow. It's a new day after a cold night, and we just had breakfast, and I'm the slowest one as usually, so I just had to hurry up. When you fill up the thermos bottle, put it upside down make sure it's not leaking. That saves a lot of energy. So you see I'm wearing this tape here. I get cracks sometimes in the fingers. Then I use this cream, repair, and then I put tape over, and then it creates a microclimate in here, and then it heals faster. So repair cream or any grease and tape or a plaster over the crack. So one more thing you do is that you put your pants outside over the boots. If you put the pants inside the boots will fill up with snow. Snow turns to water and you get wet feet. Pants outside the boots. So now my team is dressed. They start putting away the chain and moving the dogs to the sled, and it's still kind of calm, but very soon this calm changed to something else. Stressful situation when the dogs start screaming and jumping, and because when they see that I take my anchor and make my team ready and moving to my sled, then they wanna go. Hey Troll. But now it's still very nice and relaxed. Today I try to film the start with the action cam. We'll see. Really crazy. Yeah. That's not the best moment of the day. Stefan, Anna, Ellen and Thomas are doing fine behind me. That's great. So last night we had minus 27 degrees and the plan was to have one more night in the tent, but we changed the plan. So now we're heading towards Porter cabin. Warm and cozy cabin is also good. Vänster! Hög! Stanna! So one of the last things you're doing before you go to bed is actually peeing, or at least that's what I'm doing. When I go peeing, I take some snow like this and squeeze it in my hand, and I'm using this instead of toilet paper. But that's how I'm doing. this small piece of snow turns yellow and you throw it, of course. If you have toilet paper, you have to take care of the toilet paper, you can't just throw it. The temperature now is already minus 20 Celsius, so no one of us are actually sad that we're staying in the cabin tonight. We are more people in our side of the cabin, so we had 5 beds and we had three layers of beds, and instead of sleeping in the top layer, I always prefer to take the mattress, put it on the floor, because top level is so hot and you will not get a good night's sleep at all. So if you get the top floor on the bed, take the mattress, put it on the floor and sleep low. That's much more comfortable, because usually people fire too much in this cabin and it's too hot and you just get dehydrated and headache next day. Now, good night. I'm on round 3 to the toilet, 1:30. I drink vitamin C, I drink a couple of mugs of coffee. Don't drink too much, especially not in the cabin where you have to walk a long distance to the toilet. Round 3 before 2 o'clock. So it's a new day and we are more or less ready to go. The dogs are dressed and yeah, we just have to loosen the anchor and go. One thing that I do is that I store my gloves in the pocket inside my jacket. Then I know where they are, and I also know that they don't laying somewhere and get frosty. Now mine are warmish and okayish. We have like 25 kilometers, so it's not a long day. Tonight there is a sauna in the cabin and a warm cabin tonight again. Last night was also very cold, it was like 25 below 0, and it was a good choice to go into a cabin actually. But now take the last dog shit and then take off.
No, it is too hot for her.
That is too hot.
But it is really hot.
No, the floor is really cold.
So now I have been to the toilet and I have not been drinking as much as last night, so hopefully I can sleep better tonight. I have no really advice to give to you right now. I think you should look at another video we have made that is about safety on the trail. Check that video, that's really good. Now I'm going to bed and sleep. See you tomorrow and then we continue the tour. We are in Axe right now. Yeah, now we are in CGR cabin and we had a really nice day. Very good weather when we went here. Now it has started snowing and I can hear the wind. You know, I very often say that if you listen, you hear the wind increasing on the higher level. and that we do right now. You have to have some luck with the weather also. So it was not bad weather when we arrived here, but now in the evening it will snow a little bit and it will be less good weather right now. Tomorrow they promise good weather again. So one more advice. If you can use some good luck with the weather, it's good. On Sunday, when I have a day off in Saltelukta, it seems like it will snowing quite a lot. So good luck with the weather. That's also important to have. And now we are in Sito and we are drinking tea and we are drinking coffee and we are planning for feeding the dogs, and then we will have dinner. I also destroyed one of my teeth. One piece is gone there. So before you go to the mountain for longer tours, go to the dentist and make a checkup. I should have done that. Actually I did that, but it didn't help. There was a problem there anyway. Now a little bit more coffee. My leather boots start getting wet again, so I had to put more grease on them. And then I have warmed up this grease with tar inside. I prefer to warm it up, and then it's easier to apply it on the shoes. It's extra important that you put it on the seams and where the stitches are, and on the lower part, and on the part where you warm them more. So this part is protected by the pants, so that's not so important, but this lower part is coming in a lot of contact with the snow and so that's more important. Shoe number 1 done. Greased, or what you say, I don't know. Then I make like this, tie them, hang them on a warm place, because if the shoes are a little bit warmish, not hot but a little bit warmish, then the grease goes into the boots much better. And that is what I want. So I hang them there until tomorrow. Some cabins have telephone reception in different places. Here in City there is reception close to the water hole, and it's reception in the window, and so on. It's important that the people back home not waiting for message from you. Because if they're waiting for a message from you and you suddenly don't have reception, because it is different if it's cloudy and it's different if it's clear sky. And if they're waiting for a message of you and you suddenly can't send, you crash your phone or whatever, then they call the emergency SOS, and then you have an unnecessary mountain rescue mission only because it's not necessary. So tell people back home that you probably don't have telephone coverage, and each SMS should be as a bonus. When you are in a cabin like this, I very often put a pot with water on the fireplace, because then you have water for cleaning up, and hot water is always good to have. You see, it's snowing more and more now. But now it's time for bed. See you tomorrow. Goodbye. So it's a new day and we are making the dogs ready to go. Now we have 20 kilometers over the mountain to Saltolukta. Two things. Drink a lot. I have one of these bottles, installation bottles from Thermos, and I keep my tea in it, and I keep on drinking more or less all the time, sipping a little bit. You should not drink too much. If you drink too much, you pee everything out again, so drink a little bit all the time. I'm saying this in all of my videos more or less. If you get dehydrated, you get light headache usually, and you get tired, so then we can discuss, is it good to drink tea or should you drink water? I love tea or coffee, and of course it's maybe not the best thing to drink. Today we have 20 kilometer ride over the mountain. So when I plan the tour, I very often plan the last day to be a shorter distance. And now we had to cross the Bear Mountain the last day, and that's not optimal if you have a snowstorm. Today it's perfect. But normally I prefer to have more sheltered terrain the last day, so I really know that I can reach my end point. If I see it's bad weather coming in, or if I get stuck in bad weather, I can probably double the last 2 days and reach the finish goal, the end point anyway. Let's dress the dog and take off. Start moment is not my highlight during the day, as you know. It's still calm, it's still nice, but now we go. This kind of anchor is really good, both for anchor dog team, if you're going to anchor tents, if you're a snowmobile person and you need to anchor your camp or whatever. Highly recommend that. This is called Dead Man grip or something. Yeah, anyway, really good. I always carry a couple of them for my stakeout line, and if I'm camping I also carry a couple of them for my tent. So the start was so stressful, so I actually forgot to film it. Now we're making the last part down to Saltolukta, as you see. I hope I could share some useful tips for you, or that you enjoy the scenery out here. Thanks for watching, thanks for following the channel and all that things. And of course I want to say big thanks to Stefan and Anna, Thomas and Ellen, who follow on the tour. Super nice to be out with you, and yeah, to all of you, I hope I see you again. See you next video. Ciao!